Howdy guys, so I thought I'd give you guys a little run through this game here. This game is Orbus VR. Let me put my hand on real quick. So this game here, we've got Orbus VR Reborn. It's one of the very few VR MMORPGs that is actually out currently in VR, of course, itself. Let me just adjust the thing real quick, 1 second. There we are. So, it's quite an eventful thing. Most of the endgame content hits when you hit level 30. But what we're going to be doing here, we're just going to be doing a run through for all those new players, all the people who are curious on how to play the game, how to get started, and what you can do when you hit level 30. But of course, I'll have to hit level 30 for that one. So let's get our character started here. So let's change this change the skin tone a little bit. Let's go with a Let's go with that. And the nose. Let's give it a human nose, maybe. That works. And the ears, let's yo, those devil ears. Damn. Okay. And the hair. Now, what type of hairstyle should we go with? See, that's like my hair, but a lot more straight. Oh god, I clicked a button. We'll go with that. And then hair color. That'll work. The mouth. This is just the little bits of customizing avatars you can do. It just doesn't really make a difference, but I guess it's aesthetically pleasing for those who do like what the. Is it a smiley face under? See, this is the stuff that I never thought I'd discover in Orbus. Just scrolling through here, like, what is this? You know? Let's go with the basic one. And the eyes. Let's go with some hypnosis eyes and the color of red. Yes, that'll work. Character name. Now, I've been thinking I could do something like Orbus guide or something. But then people might ask me for advice. Orbus guide YouTube? Hang on, what if I do that? Or Orbus guide YouTube. Oh yeah, no spaces are allowed, I forget. That'll work. Should work. And let's go create character. Damn it, I forgot. We're not going to talk about how I made it a swordsman by mistake. We're going to choose a different class inside of the game. So let's log in as this character and give it a go. Orbus VR Reborn. Loading. Here we are. Welcome to the game. Let me go and push the talk so I don't get people recognizing me. So, oh, no man. What most people will do, once you enter the game, you'll just kind of walk over to this guy, have a little word with him. But personally, I'm going to come over to this guy here real quick. And what I suggest you doing at the start... Drift, my bad. What I suggest you doing at the start is claiming every single weapon and item in the game. It's just very nice to have them all, just because you will use them later on. So personally, I put them all on page 5. And if you want to level up your classes, like this is how you swap classes. So I'm a warrior right now, I've got my shield, I've got my sword. And then I swap to the hammer. And now my class would reset to level 1 for a paladin, if it was a higher level. And then I can tank as a paladin. And then we're going to get DPS and a ranger, that'll work. And then DPS scoundrel. Let's quickly sort through all of the stuff I got. So here, the scoundrel is pretty simple, it's just a gun. I'm going to put the shield over here as well for that guy. The ranger, you'll get the bow and you'll want to choose specific arrows. As a guy who's played the game for a very long time and a ranger main, you want piercing. You want fire rain just for ads, like when you're kind of just messing around out here or something. I've never used fire rain personally, but I keep it just in case. And poison. Poison is extremely powerful. Trust me, you'll love it. And then for the support, of course, we have the musketeer over here, which you'll have a ton of orbs. Oh yeah, for the rest of them, by the way, darkness arrow you can save for PvP if you're planning on it. Spread out. Disgusting. But the musketeer, so what you want to choose for that, you want to keep mainly, I'd say, all of the orbs actually, because you'll need some of them for later on, some of them not. So you will want to kind of save all of these. Actually, oh my god, I can't even speak today. But you might want to put them on a different page, because you do get a lot of ad sensitive stuff. No, it's slowly. I know that guy. And then away to this guy, I get the support, I go to Bard, and we get the Bard items as well. The Bard item will be here, and we'll just throw all of the Bard stuff on page 4 as well. Just don't worry about Sturdy right now, he's just kind of helping some other people out. And then we'll move the arrows over as well.
Orbus guide on YT. Cool. I might
right here.
Let me say hi to Sturley real quick. Hey Sturley, how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
You alright?
Yeah.
And of course we need Shaman. I just thought I might give the newer players a little hand by posting a couple videos on YouTube. So I started a whole new character for that.
Oh, what's your main character?
Lucifer.
Oh, it's Lucifer.
Yeah. I'm gonna get back and push to talk. See you in a second, mate. Then we just want to go to the guy again and grab, which I don't suggest starting off as, because it's quite hard to learn. But the Rune Mage, it's a very advanced class. It's quite complicated to learn. Let me just throw all of this up here. Now you should have 8 different weapons inside of your inventory at this point. So the 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there you are. Now as a Rune Mage, you'll be drawing like this, and you don't like, what are you doing? You have no clue. So what you'll want to do is forget that guy for now. You can continue with quests later on. Quests aren't the most important thing to start off with. Yes, you want to get levels, but you do also want to know how to cast a fireball, don't you? So let's come through this. Starting off, you'll appear inside of High Step, and you'll want to make your way up straight from the door, up here, and down to the left up to the Fellowship Court there. You'll forget about Darius, the quest, you'll forget about anything else. Don't worry about reading about the lore quests, we're just going to head straight up this way. I will have to reset my view though, because the game does decide to be quite a bit buggy, but you learn to deal with the bugs. You'll find a lot of people in the Fellowship Court. This is where a lot of Rune Mages who are practicing casting, a lot of players hang out, and this is, you know, the teleport, that's what this is. Teleport to Fellowship Court. I'll teach you how to do that in a second, but if we come over here, and let's say you don't think you'll ever remember how to do this, so I'm probably going to fail this because I'm terrible at casting pushback, but this spell here, oh, perfect, first time. This spell here is pushback, so you'll use it to interrupt mobs. They'll have a bar below their name, like a pink bar saying interrupt. You'll cast this at them. It'll push them back if they don't have an interrupt, or it'll interrupt them. So a very good spell to learn how to cast. I can't do it now. And you'll want to like cast it more often, faster, and learn shortcuts for stuff like that. If you can't remember, if you think you'll forget the spell, just grab your compass, turn it upside down, grab your journal book, and slap it on that room page there. Yep, I can speak. New journal page added. So you'll go to, I believe it's here, and voila, pushback. You now have pushback inside of your thing. This spell here is a melee. Oh yeah, to get rid of this, just put it over your shoulder. But this here is a melee spell and nobody uses. It's a terrible spell. It does like no damage. That's all it is. Quite horrific. This one's used a lot, but not specifically this one. It's used as number 2. I can't even cast number 2, but I can't remember the name of the spell. Affliction. That's it. So affliction. If I can cast affliction. There it is. Affliction's used in rotation spells. I'm not quite sure what it actually does myself. So let me just grab my book out, shove it on there. Darkness. It's a spell that does damage. That's what I know. I'm not a rune mage main, so. But you just kind of cast it away. There it goes. And voila. Over here, Fireball 1. Now, nobody uses this because it's a ridiculous spell. It does no damage. It's entirely pointless. And Fireball 2 is so easy. You get rid of that. Forget about that spell. That thing never needs to exist. But over here, this is Frost. Now, you can cast it as a F and do it that way, but I do that. You can do it as a candy cane technique, and you can learn to spam it. It does take practice to learn, of course. And up here is Frost. So that's Frost or Frost? I believe that's Frost 2, but that's Frost 3. I can't cast that. It's extremely hard to cast, but you can cast that. Over here is... Oh yeah, I will learn that as well, so that's one you will want to learn. Oh god, that's one you will want to learn if you want to remember them. Greater Frostbolt, Frost 2. Over here is Mana Shield. This spell, you don't really use much, you do it to test, so like if I wanted to check if Other was desynced, which is just disconnected from the game, you're not probably in the game and it's very buggy, so I just cast it on him and it will show up with a hand symbol. So if I just cast it myself real quick, see the hand symbol there? It'll cast that on yourself and it's pretty good, pretty good to test for that. It's not really used for much else. Over here is Frost 1, I think. Frost 1's a pretty shit spell. Don't worry about that. Hang on, let me speak to Other. Other, my boy, I'm on push to talk. I'm talking to... How you doing, buddy? I thought I might as well give some people a handout, you know, because not many people get much help as lower levels and don't really know how to start off the game.
Gotcha. I was in the name and I was like, damn, for somebody to be a YouTube maker, they should not saying a damn thing.
I know. I can't even cast now.
You know, it could be muted, them saying stuff.
Yeah, I was. It's the recording, but don't worry. I'll see you in a second, Other. See you in a minute. Over here is the spell you will be doing a lot. Fireball. Fireball 2, to be exact. It's a B. There are a ton of different methods to do this. Up there's Fireball 3. I've never cast. I think I might have cast it once, but it's extremely hard to cast, and it looks easy, but it's not. But Fireball. So there's a lot of different things. So that works, but it's a B. Can't even do a B now. A B. So like that. But what I do, I just kind of draw a circle and an oval, and I end up trying to cast it. And if I cast GG, and you just kind of learn how to do it faster, and over time practice improves. For a beginner's guide, let's get away from there. So that's a beginner guide on Rune Mage. Oh, actually, hang on, what's the spell here? Oh my god, that's Katsui. But I think this is light. Yeah, the spell that. Oh, I think that's decals or something. So it might be useful. Never really used that. Never really seen people use it either. If you come over here, Some other spells that I found out in the world is this spell here, Polymorph. This spell here, Polymorph, yes, okay. So you cast this at a mob that's not elite, and it turns into a chicken. Meaning it can't do damage to you, you can't deal damage to it unless you unchicken it by just damaging it, you know. But then it can do damage to you. But you know, you'll turn them to chickens. It's used for dungeons to like freeze lower level mobs to fight the other mobs around them. And it's a nice spell to use. I've used it a decent amount just to mess around or actually for some help. It's pretty good. I do like it. What are some other spells out in the world that you can find? Not really sure. Nothing really useful out there. I mean, Affliction 2, but, you know. So that's a Rune Mage. Over here we have Warrior. So you'll have a sword and you'll have a shield. And you'll just slash at the mobs, but in a certain pattern that is found within your book. You go to that page there on your book. Scroll through a little bit. Strength Warrior abilities. So we go left, right, up. That increases the aggro on the mob. So the mob is now damaging you. You're increasing the aggro on it. And what that means is when someone else is damaging it, they won't take the aggro from dealing more damage on you. Because you're just generating aggro on them. This one, Wound, if you want to kill something quicker, you just practice the combos over and over. Same for Hamstring and Cleave, but of course, as you can see, it slows the enemy, and that deals damage to multiple enemies. The shield here will block attacks until the shield is broken. Once the shield is broken, it will regenerate over time. Of course, the bigger shield can block larger attacks, but it is sturdy and less prone to break. But it will hinder the amount of melee damage you can deal. So you deal less damage, but you can take more hits. This one here, you can deal more damage, but you can take less hits. So, as you'd expect. Now, as a scoundrel, I've heard many people use this terminology. Personally, I have not ever watched it, so I don't really know. But, you get a gun and a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That's the thing I was talking about. What you'll do is, let's say you want to save this card, you throw it there, you can save it. But if you want to use a card, you'll throw it up. Now you have Frost Afflicted, or a Freeze, whatever it is, Afflicted. Actually, Ice. Your next shot slows the target. Same area as to where you'd find your Warrior. So you just click on this and then scroll. And you'll use that. Now, as a scoundrel, you will want to curve your shot. So go something like that. That will curve the shot. But you want to learn how to do it slightly. So you'll like shoot and do a little like curve of the gun as you shoot to get curved shots. Just like that. And what I have heard is empowering. Yeah, press the trigger button of the hand holding the card to burn it, empowering the next card's bullet effect. So if Vines and Flames spread debuffs to nearby enemy. Light and Ice increase potency of damage. Ash and Flint places copy of card in the deck. Not really sure what that means. But that's why you'd save your cards. What I have heard is also really good and does a lot of like single damage. Grabbing that Ice card, burning it just like this, and then throwing up that Fire card that I also just took out, and getting rid of it. That way, you deal a lot more damage. Pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to you. You'll learn what the cards do over time, and you can read in the book if you do like to do that. It's quite interesting. Now, next up, we have a Ranger. Of course, how you use this will be done to your standards of how you like it. I've had to customize. As you can see, there's a trap here. That's just over here. I did it out my way because it's entirely pointless. I never use it. It's disgusting. But the arrows I do use is piercing. You will see them appear in front of my face, by the way, just to make it easier for me to grab them and know when they're back. Poison and piercing. Now, as a ranger, as you start off, you can kind of just pull the trigger and shoot. I have to time my shots. There'll be a timer when you hit a certain level, and inside of your talent section, I believe it's arrow sight or something. I can't remember. But one of them will make you have to time it, which means you become a precision. Or you can just do Rapidity, which does less damage than precision, because, as my opinion, precision is better. So to use the piercing shot, you just grab it here, and you see that thing there that just glowed when I held it for a certain amount of time? You see it's reloading. This is charging your shot. So once it's reloaded, I grab an arrow, I pull it here, I hold the trigger back, it's now charged, and I fire. It does more damage. If you charge your poison, it ticks for longer and ticks for more damage. If you charge your piercing, it just does a shit ton of damage. So that's a ranger. Now, if we come over here to... let me just unequip these. To the musketeer. As a musketeer, you'll learn what orbs to use, but you will want... What I suggest is renew, cure wounds, shield wherever it is. No, that's not shield. Shield, and something like gravity or weakness, so that you can help other people with it. So this is the, hang on, I think that's a renew. I don't main muskie. Yeah, this is the renew, the one that has like, looks like Saturn with the spinning rings. You'll just put that in the tip of your gun, hold the trigger, and you usually shoot it at your turret, and it heals people over time. The shield, of course, gives people defense buff. That defense buff there, don't mind me drifting. That defense buff there, that is really good. And this one you'll want to save. This is the Cure Wound. It heals basically from nothing to full health. It heals a lot of stuff, a lot of health. It pulls aggro as well if the tank can't, if you're better than the tank. This Gravity Orb, when you shoot it at an enemy, will group all enemies around it together into one area. And then DPS can burn them from there. The weakness one will just apply a weakness effect. Also, the gravity will interrupt as a muskie. For the interrupt, I should go through that afterwards, just so I remember to, because I forgot about that. But this life well, just throw it down. Oh, it decided not to place. But there should be a green circular area around me that will heal constantly. It's pretty nice. So you also use it in the res. So you grab that, you put the thing in the gun, and then you shoot it at that. And voila, person's revived. Now, if we come over here to the bard, you get 2 mallets. You get to smack this. Oh wait, hang on, I forgot to get rid of the musky balls. As you can see, I am quite the organised person. Totally. But now for Bard. Oh god, I haven't played Bard in ages. I believe it's Instrument of Gentle Healing. Instrument of Cure Wounds. So it's another Cure Wounds, heals over time. And there's another one that you do Protection? Not really sure. You just kind of learn what they do over here, or they tell you, and you get to know from there. So you want to grab your Bard Mallet, one over your left shoulder, one over your right. You'll tap these things here. Now these things will come down, so you can do that. And smack, smack, smack. You just kind of keep smacking it. You can just do this as well. A lot of bards just kind of sit here and do this. So you get that thing charged. I think it's a lot more efficient like this. Once one of them is charged, if I can charge it. There we are. So then you just tap it, it'll send out heals, tap it, another heal, and tap it, a defense. It's pretty good. Bard is a great healer used in a lot of raids, like hard mode raids, stuff like that. It's used quite a lot. Over here we now have the Beginner's Shaman Mask. So if we return the Bard stuff up here, and we get our Shaman stuff. So we want, let's say, the Fireball Totem, the Lightning Totem, the Frost Totem, and the Lava one. I don't really know. I don't play Shaman, but you could speak to other Shamans about it, and it does say what is here, and you kind of just play off of your game style. So if you want to deal pulsating damage waves around it to slow like enemies, and go ahead. But you kind of just put your hand over here, equip your mask. I think it auto-equips now, I'm not sure. And then you just throw it out. Those two like that, and these two you throw out there. So those two will pulsate damage to enemies, just like that. You see those waves? Wave. It'll deal damage like that. These things, you grab them, and you throw them at the enemy. Just like that. And they'll come back, and you throw it again. And then you can readjust the totems, and do that. It's pretty nice. I don't really know how to play Shaman. My Shaman's level 1 on my main. It'll probably always be level 1. But it's a good one to learn. Now, Paladin. Oh, hang on, let me unequip all of this stuff here real quick, 1 second. But, now, we're going to play a Paladin here. This Paladin, I wouldn't say the best tank, because Paladin and Warrior can always out-deal each other on different classes, like different bosses, different stuff. But you have 3 books here, and you have your hammer. These are your pips. This is what we call pips. So you get 5 pips by lifting your hammer above your head. Each time you lift it above your head with this thing here, 2 pips gained. So watch it. Reloading, I now have 4 pips. And if I do it a 5th time, I now have 5 pips and it's there. So 5 pips, you're taking more damage, but you can hit it for more aggro. Now, that's how you charge it for the lightning strike. Hammer, throw it, and teleport. So you can grab this, and you can throw it with the grip button, which you grip with this down here, and pull the trigger, and... Hang on a second. Is that a talent? No, it isn't. Why didn't that work? But it should teleport. Theoretically, it should teleport you. I'm not sure as to why it's not. But it should. Another way to throw your hammer as a proper pally hammering is grab it here, and then you start to grab it like when you turn around. So you grab it like that, and it throws forward like that. You can do this faster. So you learn basically. Sorry, this is going a little scuffed, but don't worry about that. Basic stuff for some new people to get that basic hand out. Now, what you will need to learn is about these books and what they do. So the healing, of course, heals your health. Just pulling the book heals it halfway. This one empowers your healing, empowers your aggro book. This is your aggro book, so grab aggro. So this will empower your healing or empower your aggro. Or, to get the best aggro, you grab this book and then you dump 5 pips, lift your hammer up and dump another 2 pips. It grabs the most aggro. It's really good to generate aggro, and it's just altogether extremely good. So always make sure you're using this one. It also has a very quick recharge. Another thing with the pally is ground slam. You don't really want to use that. It doesn't really do much, but you just get 3 pips, slam it on the ground, and then you dump those 3 pips like that. So see, 3, bam. Now I have not. We're just gonna ignore that. People in Orbus terrify me. But that's the basics of pally. Oh yeah, and if you lift your left hand up, you have 2 seconds of 1.5 seconds of 99% damage reduction. Basically, 2 seconds of invincibility, as us pallies like to say, just for basic information. It's pretty good. Now, if we swap back to the Rune Mage real quick, I do want to tell you some stuff about the Rune Mage itself. So you have, of course, your basic casting to get some damage. You just burn with the casting, going through fireballs. But to cast a portal, so let's go get ourselves a reagent real quick, because you will need a Rune Mage reagent, which drop from random enemies in the wild. You'll just kill them and it will drop one. But let's ask someone real quick. Hey, Other, do you mind if I borrow a couple Rune Mage reagents real quick, please?
Oh, you get some. You can have some of mine. What are they for?
I'm just trying to give people a little learning lesson on teleportation and revival.
Where do you put them? How do you use these?
Have you
Somebody
sent
just
me?
tried to call me about my car's extended warranty.
When you tell him.
Yeah, Other, do you mind sliding me a couple, please?
Hurry up, because I'm about to get disconnected because of the damn phone
Here,
call.
I'll trade with
Thanks,
you.
homie. Okay, so there's 5 room mage reagents. You'll just find those in the wild.
Sorry, wrong button.
That's all good. I got some. Thank you, though. Let's go back to push talk. Let's come over here now. So, to teleport... Oh, hey, Sub Rosa member. Huh, my God. So, to cast to the Fellowship Court, which you'll use most of the time, you'll just do a circle like this, and then a line through it. That's how you start off all your teleports. This is probably not going to go right, because I'm terrible at casting the start. It went well. So then you want to cast Frost in any way you learn, and then you want to cast a chicken foot. Like that. And then this thing will come up, you kind of just grab this and eat it. And then you'll teleport to the Fellowship Court here. You do learn other teleports such as like Lamavora here.
Are you
And
going
then
to
this
the
one will
void?
teleport you to Lamavora, this will teleport you to Fellowship Court. This guy's
Are you going to the
not
void?
really sure what's happening here, but don't worry about him. So then you
You
can
have to eat
eat
them
this
both
one,
at
and
the
this will
foot of-
take you to Lamavora. Go to Lamavora real quick. Just to get a little peace and quiet as well. So it's a diamond and then a chicken foot. Now we have the Lamavora teleport. These are some high-level enemies. If you look at the world map, we are no longer in High Step, the main area for starting levels. We're now in Lamavora. Over there,
Hello.
it's quite scary because that has the stars. We'll wave at this guy because we can. Now, to do the Room Mage res, what I've been informed of is it's kind of like this, but forget about that method. You can do it like that. So a line with a circle in the middle. Supposedly you can do it like that. You're meant to be. Damn it, I can't cast pushback. Ow. Okay, forget about that. We're gonna come over here and do this. So you're meant to be able to cast, like, I don't know why it's not working, because there we are. So a line with a circle in it, and then you'll want to cast here, like that, for stage 2, and then stage 3, you just draw Mickey Mouse. Like that. Maybe a bit bigger. Okay. We're not going to talk about how I can't cast today. But 1, 2, 3, voila, revived. That revives a dead person. So it's pretty nice to learn. No. And you do want to... When learning Room Mage, what I usually do is I sit down. I kind of enjoy. Hang on, someone sent me a message. Give me a second. And then I kind of just sit down and practice my casting until I get better. This is how you have to practice, really. And if you want to learn how to do a rotation, you'll learn like Affliction 2, shortcuts on that, and you'll do something like Affliction. I don't know if I can do it. Affliction, but full. Okay, so let's just theoretically say I can cast Affliction. I'd cast it like that, yep, and then I'd cast a Frost spell. And then you just Firewall spam. If I can do it today. I blame it on this one, it's a terrible one. And that's kind of just how you do it. Just burn through ads, Fireball spamming over and over. That's Room Mage. And of course the interrupt is the pushback. Now to teach you other interrupts, I'm not going to swatch to the classes, but for Paladin you just throw the hammer at them, that interrupts. For Warrior, I don't think there is oh, there is, I believe. Actually, hang on, let me swap. I believe the interrupt for Warrior is you just smash them with the shield or something. Shield bash that thing there, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Might be. I'm not quite sure on that one. But, for the Scoundrel, it's just holding the trigger. I'll swap, whatever. But it's holding the trigger down until it turns purple. Or that, and then firing. That's called a charge shot, and that's your interrupt. For Ranger, it's that charge shot I was talking about, so you'd hold... We'll just wait for that to... There we are. Hold it down, hold it back, and fire. Interrupt. And you do also have the trap, which is very useless, but because it's hard to get in there. For a musket, we have, of course, holding the trigger down, so that turns pink. And we also have the gravity orb I was on about here. For a bard, you get this, and you just throw your mallets at them. That's kind of how you interrupt. Just lob the mallets. Yeah. Interrupts. And then for the shaman, I have absolutely no clue. I don't even know if they can interrupt. But that's the basics. Now we're just going to very quickly teleport back to High Step if I can cast it. Looks like I can. Never mind. I have no idea where I'm going anymore. There's a portal. Let's go. Teleport away. And make our way over there. We're somehow in the flooded rainforest. Okay, I'll teleport to flooded. Luckily, he gave us enough room mage reagents. How many do we have left? Absolutely none. He gave us just enough. But that's the basics of Orbus VR. I'll teach you how to level up the questline and something at a later point. Thank you, and I really hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.